Hi, my name is Anil Sharma, and I've been living into United States for last 23 years. I came here on F1 visa. I went through the H1B processing and got my green card, and I worked for more than 25 clients as an IT expert. I recently started an organization to help people, confident communication services, along with my partner Soptik.
Thanks, Anil. My name is Suptik. I was a scientist in the US for 17 years, and I did my master's and PhD from the United States. And then I work in a Fortune 500 company. I worked in the academia as a postdoctoral researcher for a few years. And then I started this organization to help students. Recently, we are seeing a lot of concerning news, and that is why we thought that we do this video. Anil, can you please elaborate?
Yeah, sure. So I have a long experience helping students in United States. Previously, we were just trying to help them, support them once they come to United States. But then we realized the problem starts much earlier. Problem number one is people in India, very few of them are really aware about the whole process, how to apply to a foreign university, what type of coursework they should select. There is still so much secrecy about it. Thanks to internet, now people are more aware. Way back in 1999 or 2000 time, when we started, it was very difficult to get that information. But still I see in tier 2, tier 3 universities, people really don't have the full picture. How do you go about the whole process? So that is the number one problem I see. Number two problem I see is there is so much even if you have the knowledge, you don't know from where to get the resources, because there is so much money involved. You have to pay your tuition fees, you need to pay for your living expenses, and especially if you're living in a very costly city, right? So there's so much cost involved, and students sitting in India, probably they are not aware, right? There may be some assistantship available. That what we guys took help. I spent very minimum amount of money to just I just bought a plane ticket and I came here with of course with a few $1000s in my bank, because I didn't want to burden my parents, right? So we want to guide the students. How do you go about finding a research scholarship or a TA, those type of things. Number three, I see is there are a lot of challenges, especially reading the recent news. We are seeing so much fraud is happening. What Suptik was pointing earlier. And we want to help students don't fall into these hands. Some of the consulting companies who are training people, they themselves haven't seen the whole path. So they haven't walked the path, as what we say, right? So that is a big gap in their experience, and that is another challenge I see. Number four, even if you come to US and let's say you get your student visa, getting H1B is such a big challenge, and many times people have to return home, and according to government data, only 22% of the students coming back home are able to find jobs in India also. So imagine a student who has spent his whole life saving, his parents' life saving, into coming to United States, and then he has to go empty-handed, and he's not even able to find job in India. So that gives a very depressing story, right? So that where we are trying to help student community by guiding them, and we have ourselves have walked this path, and we have been able to successfully guide many students come to United States, and after they finish their studies, we are helping them get the H1Bs, or at least we are guiding them. I can.
So Anil, just to intervene here, just to tell people about the scale of the fraud that is happening. What we hear is today that 700 students may have to come back from Canada. They may be deported back to India. These are all students who went from India. Now, what I understand is the students, they approached some agents, and these agents provided some fake forged letter from the universities about their admission. They took those letters in the face value, and then they approached a embassy, Canadian embassy, to go to Canada. They reached Canada, and then they were told by the same agents that, look, the universities which promised you a seat is overbooked, like a bus, it's overbooked. And so we'll find you another college or another university to provide you a seat. So they said it's fine. So they were provided a seat in another college. They graduated from that college. Now, when they were about to file for the PR, that is permanent residency in Canada, they were told by the agencies there that your initial offer letter that you were provided with, that offer letter is fake. That offer letter, that university never issued that offer letter, that first university. So that is a very troubling situation now, because 700 students have come out. Many may not have come out because of societal pressures and all, but you know, there is chance of suicide, there's a chance of all kinds of depression and all kinds of troubles that can occur in a family. And people have, as you have said, that, you know, people have spent out all their life savings. So what they're going to do next? So that is what is happening in Canada today. I mean, this is a case in Canada. Not all cases are bad, but one major case in Canada. And then a few years back, we had similar problems in that Tri-Valley University in Silicon Valley, USA. And there many students, many hundreds of students, that actually university was closed down because many hundreds of students were found to be working everywhere in the US other than that studying in that university. And then the similar case happened in New York, where there was a dispute. But I mean, many students, many hundreds of students lost, I think 500 students lost their legal immigration status. But there was a dispute between whether the students are at fault or they are being, you know, over criticized or over some stringent measures not taken on them, which they don't deserve. So so we are, and this is not only limited to US, Canada, it's in UK also. UK is saying that in 2020, 20,700 plus students overstayed there. Now the question is, if students are overstaying, why? Because they are not getting return of money on their courses. They are not, that means they did not choose the right course. Mm-hmm. They did not choose the right university. So the fundamentals, the foundations are in trouble. So correct. That's where I think the student community needs mentoring, particularly, as you say, for the Tier 2 and Tier 3 universities. And you know, that's also one of the reasons I think we started this organization in the first place, to how we can mentor the student community, so that they, while choosing the courses, while getting trained for these examinations, while deciding on the professors, while deciding on the path to take, there's a bunch of options out there for the student. If a student wants, they can do their entire education for free if they want, the tuition part completely free. I mean, they may take some small amount as a flight ticket, but that's all. So that option is there, but students are not aware, and that is where I think is a challenge, because as you said, apart from many confusions, they now have frauds also going on.
Thanks, Subhadip. You captured it really well.